everyone and welcome to Friday's writing lesson. All the teachers have been so happy with all the work that you've sent in so far this week. We've been really pleased to see you working so hard at home. Let's take a little look together at some of the work we've been sent in.
Here is just a small selection of some of the wonderful work we have received in this week. Madison and Erin have drawn fantastic river diagrams which they've labelled correctly with the features of a river. Corey's had to go at the Now Try This Extra challenge and made his own cards to remember the different parts of a river. Elsie's done a fantastic edit of the waggle here where she's found all the different features and underlined them on her letter. Thank you so much to everyone who has been sending in their work. We really love to see it and can't wait to see what else you get up to. Our learning objective today for our writing video is to use a variety of different sentence types. You may remember in the waggle that Miss Bridgewater shared with us earlier on in the week, if-then sentences were used. Now this is something we haven't come across before, but we're going to take a look at if-then sentences today and have a go at writing some ourselves. So we need to be able to look at these so that we can use them in our letter back to Jack to give him as much information as possible about different places to build along the river. So some of our key vocabulary for today's lesson: if-then sentences, subordinate conjunction, and subordinate clauses. We have looked at these two before, so see if you can go back in your minds and remember what a subordinate conjunction is. But if you can't remember, don't worry, we'll have a look together in a couple of slides' time. Miss Bridgewater shared a waggle letter with us on Tuesday. In the waggle, there were some if-then sentences. Did you manage to work out what they are from reading the letter? Take another look now and see if you can spot them again. Pause the video if you need to. Let's have a little check together. Here they are. I've underlined them here in purple. There is one in each paragraph. What word does the if-then sentence start with? That's right, well done Year 4. It starts with if. If you try to build on the banks of the unpredictable vast River Severn, then your retail park will constantly be flooded. In the middle of the sentence, it has the word then. So it starts with if, and in the middle of the sentence, it has then. If-then sentences tell us what will happen as a result of something else happening. So, if you try to build on the boggy, squelchy surface, then the shops are sure to collapse. So this sentence is telling us that the shops will collapse if you try to build on the boggy, squelchy surface. Let's take a look at some steps to success about how to write an if-then sentence. I've taken one of the sentences here from our waggle letter that we've just looked at on the previous page. Now, the if-then sentence must start with if, and if is the subordinate conjunction. We've had a little look at subordinate conjunctions in school. Can you remember what that is? A subordinating conjunction is a word that is used to connect or join two clauses together. It adds a little bit of extra information to the sentence. So in our example, if you try to build on the banks of the unpredictable vast River Severn, that is the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause doesn't make sense on its own and would need to join another clause, a main clause, to make it make sense. Previously at school, we have looked at putting subordinating conjunctions in the middle of our sentences to extend them. However, here, if, which is the subordinate conjunction, is going at the beginning of our sentence. So we're learning here that we can put the subordinate conjunction in the middle to extend, or at the beginning to add some extra information before your main clause. Now I know it's a lot to take in, it's a little bit tricky, but we're going to have lots of practice writing some if-then sentences today to help you get the hang of it. So just to recap, a subordinate clause is a part of a sentence that adds additional information to the main clause. So here in blue, that's our subordinate clause, and in green, that's our main clause. The bit in blue is adding more information to the main clause in green. A subordinate conjunction is simply the word, like if in our example, that is used to join a subordinate clause to the main clause. Now I know it's not in the middle, but here we put it at the beginning and it still works. And some of you with beady eyes may have noticed the punctuation that you need in an if-then sentence. Have a look here carefully at the end of the subordinate clause. What punctuation can you see? That's right, Year 4, well done. It's a comma. There needs to be a comma at the end of the subordinate clause. So when we're writing today, especially if you're a Chilly 3, make sure you're trying to punctuate your sentences correctly. So, thinking about what we have just learned, have a go at finishing these sentences here out loud. There's no need to write anything down just yet. These are the subordinate clauses here for different sentences. What do they all start and finish with? That's right, well done. They all start with the word if, and these subordinate clauses here have a comma at the end of them. We want to add a main clause that starts with then to put at the end of these subordinate clauses to make a whole sentence. So let's have a look at the first one together. If you are cold, what would you do if you were cold? So if you are cold, then put on a coat, full stop. Or if you are cold, then sit by a fire, full stop. Now it's your turn. Have a go at finishing these sentences off out loud. Remember to start the main clause with the word then. Off you go. Pause the video now. Now let's have a go at writing. My turn first.
Okay, so I'm going to start my sentence with the subordinate clause, and our subordinate clause that we looked at together was if you like rivers. So I'm going to start with if, a capital I. If you like rivers. Now, can you remember what I need to put at the end of my subordinate clause? A comma. That's right, everybody, well done. So there's my comma. If you like rivers. Now, my main clause is going to start with then. So I'm going to start that here. And then I'm going to have a little think about what I would do. If you like rivers, then go and visit Puxton Marsh. So if you like rivers, then go and visit Puxton. Now, Puxton Marsh is a place, so it needs capital letters. So a capital P, U, X, T, O, N, Marsh. Full stop. So there's my sentence with my subordinate clause. If you like rivers, if is my subordinate conjunction, comma, then go and visit Puxton Marsh. Full stop.
Now it's our turn. So our subordinate clause is if you fall in a river. Have a think about what the main clause could be that we could add to that to add more information to our sentence. Have a think about what it needs to start with. Then, that's right, well done. So it could be, if you fall in a river, then call for help. Or, if you fall in a river, then grab a branch to hold on to. Have a go at writing down your own sentence now, using this subordinate clause to start it. Remember your punctuation and think carefully about your spelling. It could be a good idea to say your sentence out loud before you write it down.
So I had a little go at writing my if-then sentence too. If you fall in a river, I've started that part of the sentence, the subordinate clause, with a capital I for the word if. If you fall in a river, comma, then shout for help. And I've remembered my full stop at the end. Is there any way I could make this sentence even better? What a good idea. I could add in an expanded noun phrase to add extra detail. So I'm going to look for the noun in the sentence. If you fall in a river, I know river's a noun, so I'm going to think of 2 adjectives to describe the river and have a go at adding them into my sentence to make it even better. I've added extra detail to my sentence by adding in an expanded noun phrase to describe the river. If you fall in a deep, fast-flowing river, then shout for help. Full stop.
Now it's your turn. Everyone is going to complete the Chili 1 challenge today, and if you want an extra challenge, then work through Chili 2 and Chili 3. I'm going to show you some subordinate clauses on the next slide. You need to add a main clause starting with then. Chili 2, see if you can add an expanded noun phrase, so find the noun and think of 2 adjectives that best describe it. Can you up-level those adjectives that you're adding into your sentences? And Chili 3, make sure you have included the comma in the correct place to... So here are your subordinate clauses that you need to add a main clause to, starting with then. If the river floods, if you want to swim in a river, if you live next to a river, if you want to catch a fish, if you want to locate a river on a map. Remember to look back at the Chili challenges to see how you need to be challenging yourself today. So that's the end of your Friday writing video. I hope you've all had a wonderful week of learning. We've really enjoyed seeing everything that you've sent in to us, and we can't wait to see what you get up to next week. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and see you all soon. Goodbye.